This album's a little bit different in concept, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, we were able. Well, Bill and I actually about a year and a half ago we were together one night and we were talking about how we felt like sometimes albums just are a collection of tunes that get thrown together, and the performance happens all at the same time, but where all the tunes came from and how they're related don't always work necessarily in a cohesive way, and so we decided to try and write a series of music and arrange them as a group, over sort of a short period of time, and then work on the arrangement over a longer period. And so yeah, we did that in Scott Pemberton's basement with his A100 and over the course of like 8 weeks, and we got a bunch of really, I think, really good material together. So
and everybody's contributing.
Yeah, the idea was that each band member would take a week. So like I brought in a tune one week, and then we would work on it for we're getting together for about 4 hours, and then the next Friday Bill would bring in a tune, and the next one Jesse would bring in a tune, and we all sort of have a different way of writing, and how much actual information we brought was different each week. Maybe depending on time constraints and whatnot, but. Yeah, and then once we were all together, then we would arrange it together and contribute, what we all bring to the table. So.
Well, when you bring in a tune, what's your style of bringing in a tune to the band?
Well, I think that I usually have a pretty good idea of what I want everybody to do. I'm coming from a composition background, and so I usually have pretty good idea about instrumentation and like whether I'm going to be playing organ or piano or both, or I think the most leeway is probably given to the drums in terms of I often have an idea of feel, but Jesse definitely has his own style, and we let him get creative on it. So, but sometimes I will be pretty much have everything arranged in my mind, but then it usually always changes a little bit. And I mean that's the fun process of being in the band with other musicians.
So, what's the unifying thing about this album then, as far as that's what you were going for, right?
Yeah, well, I just wanted something more cohesive. And because I felt that maybe our past albums had really good material on them, but as a whole, it felt like too it was maybe too scattered sometimes, and so we were hoping to have something that was not only each piece of music is good, but then the whole thing is tied together, and and it sort of feels like a piece of art on its own, like as an album. That's really important to me too. Like that, even every transition from song to song is works really well. And then one of my sort of issues with the digital age is that when you're listening to stuff on iTunes and it's not always in the right order and the spacing is wrong. It's like when you put it on an actual record or a CD and you listen straight through, that's a completely different experience than listening to just an MP3.
So the sequencing was really important to you.
Yeah, I mean that's always been important to me, but I think it was very important on this one too. And we tried we tried some new things that I think made the sequencing even more important.
So for people who didn't go to music school, what does the name of the band mean?
Trio Subtonic?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get too dorky.
No, please do.
But, subtonic is the flat 7. But that's not necessarily... We weren't trying to make a music school joke. We were, we just thought it was a cool sounding name that would, have a nice ring to it. I don't think that we were trying to reference.
Well, so now at least people know what it was.
Yeah.
What is it about trios that you like?
About trios?
Trios, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a nice size for a group because it's small enough to really be able to interact with everybody. I mean, all the time. In bigger groups, it's, it can be harder to get, you know, everybody sort of tight. And the other thing about the trio that's nice is that it's just, well, I mean, as you know, I mean, it's hard with every musician's schedule to get everybody in the same room and rehearsing and stuff, and it's, with 3 people, it's a nice size, and it's a little bit more manageable logistically as well as musically. And I mean, I just, a lot of my favorite music is trios. I mean, not obviously piano trios, but there's lots of other, organ trios and stuff that are some of my favorite music. So I think I just like it.
You've been playing with Jesse quite a while. Where'd you guys meet up?
Jesse and I both went to Lewis and Clark College originally, and we met there. Probably we started playing music together our sophomore year.
Which was how long ago?
That would be the year 2000 was probably our sophomore year. Yeah.
That's 11 years of playing together. That's
yeah. And the band, I think we started playing together under this name Trio Subtonic in 2005. So.
Did you hit it off with him musically right away?
Yeah, we had a band in college that was a quartet with saxophonist Leslie Kernican, who you may know.
Sure.
And because she was in our class as well. And we were playing, together then, and playing a few gigs outside of the school environment. And yeah, we weren't writing so much original music then, and we were just, but we had a really good rapport playing together. And then Jesse and I also, we went traveling in Brazil together, and that was, a very interesting musical experience for both of us. So.
Yeah. So at the gig on Sunday, are you going to play the album?
Yeah, we'll play the album. We'll play all of it and much more. We're going to do 2 sets, and the album is probably about 1 set. So, but we'll play every tune. I don't think we'll play in order necessarily. But we will play it, and we're going to give the album away with the cover as a digital download card, which is basically a code for downloading it onto your computer.
Well, if we were to let people hear one of the tunes just down underneath this screen, what would you suggest?
I'm gonna say we have track number 3 is Bill Athens' song. It's called Garage and Grace. And it's one of my personal favorites on the album. The arrangement came out really well, and Bill is a really creative composer, so that's the one I'm going to go with.
Let's listen to it.
All right.